Hey, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and we're back. We're working on the Hezrou demon. The picture of him looks like this big guy that is in the center part there, and ours does not. And here's ours. But he's the right height. Well, he's a little tall actually, and he's still a demon. So I think the first move here would be to get a small dry brush, makeup brush, something like this. Mine's from the Dollar Tree. Yours can be from wherever. Let's get some white paint. And let's figure out what textures we have to work with today. Well, there's going to be no shortage of texture. Looks like. Oh, there's a bit more than we wanted for sure. Oh well, we'll make it work. All right, let's do the head again, the shoulders, top of the hands, and his sides of his face. Yeah, let's do the top of his knees, something like that. So in the cover art, he is like a brown. We have a lot of browns though. A lot of browns. So many browns, in fact, that I have too many browns. So let's look at some other options. I got a lot of browns. Red, yellow, orange. Fire giant orange. So I have a thought here that could make this a pretty easy paint job. Let's come through and do his clothes in metallic gold. Just the parts that could be metal. This waistband or belt, if you are wanting to call it that, could be metal. I'm not looking for a perfect coverage on this, really. Just getting the parts that stick up are the most important. His boots could be metal. If you get a little bit of that metal on the base, that'll be alright, because we're going to come back and paint that pavement. My favorite color. Oh no, we're actually this base is outside, so we're gonna do brown. And then we'll do the rocks and pavement. Boosh. Yeah, I should have took a coffee break. I was out all night at work, doing work stuff like a fool. I run 3 sites, well, 2 really. And then I help out with other sites besides mine. And I usually just only ever work daylight unless something happens or something's going on. So last night there was some drama. And even though I personally didn't really fix any of the drama, my presence did. When you're a third-party contractor, pardon me, like I am, sometimes your employees don't have it's not their responsibility for one to have to fight with people, but sometimes they don't have the pull it takes to get stuff done. And sometimes they do. And there's been some problems from them not wanting to fix their equipment. But I sat there with them, and it's all mostly fixed. I say mostly, but it's not a perfect fix yet. So, I don't know what song you have stuck in your head, but for me, I have a Weezer song stuck in my head, and I am really trying like hell not to sing it for y'all. It's off their Blue album, so it's definitely one of their older jams. I don't think he has any kind of wrist guards or anything. If he did, I think we might have snipped him off. Something like that, right? And then that little bit of cloth in the front of him there. We won't do the back. That'll just look like a butt. And that little cloth in the front, we'll do red when we're done. Okay. Fire Giant Orange. First, let's dry this off. Let's set this over here. He kind of looks like a giant murloc. Hold on, we got some work business going on here. That's my boss calling. Can't be that important. All right. Get our tape back. Let's get my regiment brush here. I didn't get it wet first. I'm gonna regret that in the end. Let's use this orange. Oh, I don't know why I'm being careful on the boots. I wanted to use it on the boots too. That's a lot. Pretty wasteful. Now, I'm trying not to get all over these spikes because we're going to have to repaint those to do them. I think I'm going to leave the ends of the fingers as unpainted as I can manage to, with as sloppy as I am. I'm going to tell you, I'm not a giant fan of the color orange. Even though I'm wearing a bright orange shirt right now. Now we're just going to make sure that we got all the vital spots here. You can see this giant spot back here I somehow managed to not get. Okay. Now let's get our brush wiped out and steal some of this orange here where the red's going to be and get that thinned out so it'll dry better. Rinse out our brush again. Make sure we're cleaning up around the fingers so there's nothing too wet there dribbling around. And then let's clean off these back horns a little bit. So that orange definitely is too orange, or that metallic is too orange. Let me get some water. Clean my brush out and just kind of wipe some of that away so it's not so prevalent. Okay. Now, I always tell you guys not to do this, and then I always do it because we're in a hurry here. We're in a time crunch. So, spot I missed already. Inside his arm. Wait, it looks really black, but there's orange in there for sure. Let's just make sure I got it. Better safe than sorry. Alright. We're on low heat. We don't want to push the paint around too much. We're just focusing on the areas that we have to do different colors right now. Set this fire giant orange back in the tray, and let's get some of this mummy robes and do his fingers and stuff. I'm back with a smaller brush again. Now, you've probably heard this enough, but remember, perfection is not a prerequisite of a good craft. Sometimes you will make little mistakes and errors, or there'll be things you're not happy with that the end product turn out amazing because of. And keep that in mind as you're making stuff. You don't have to stop if you think you messed up and start over. Sometimes you can think for a minute, or even just play it out if you've got some time and resources invested, and see what happens. Do not let yourself get discouraged over this concept of perfection. I don't know so much about modern Reaper miniatures, but I can remember 20 years ago and even 15 years ago, long before they came out with the bones, little weird proportions and wonky sculpts were just a part of the Reapers that you bought. And you didn't mind them. It was just the way that it was. And if you could fix it, you'd try. And if you couldn't, you didn't. If you messed up any spots with the white, this is the time to come back and fix those. I see this now. He has a bulbous nail on that finger. It's fatter than the rest. It must have been where glue settled or something. It'll be alright. Alright, let's look at these eyes. So I think the way to go on these eyes, we're letting the white dry for a minute. I think the way to go on these eyes is to do them in black. And then do like a yellow frog eye looking thing on it. I don't know. Wait, frog eyes are... I can't think what a frog eye looks like. It's like... Let me see. Something like that. You can't see it on there. I think a frog eye looks something like this. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just Kermit the Frog for all I know. Alright, so what color can we do his eyes to where they look good? Well, let's do them in this white. And I'm not filling up that entire orb. I'm making them kind of an ovular shape that I want to use. You do yours how you like. I'm just trying to make mine a little less cartoony. He still looks like a Murloc or a Battletoad, but... Okay. Let's dry him off. Set this off to the side so it doesn't get dried too. get some of this pallid bone and do his nails and spikes. You want to hear about a terrible movie I watched? I shouldn't say it was terrible. I like terrible, so I enjoyed it. When I say terrible, I enjoyed it. Most of the time, unless it's really terrible. I watched a movie called Tarot, or Tarot, depending on how you pronounce it, but Tarot on Netflix. And I'll tell you what, it was just the right amount of cheesy, silly, made a little sense, didn't make enough sense, decent but terrible story writing that I really enjoyed it. Alright, let's figure out this base. Getting some burnt umber. Still thinking about what I'm going to do with his eyes. That's why we're moving on to the base here. So let's think about the base. Let's get some burnt umber going, or let's think about his eyes. For the base, I'm going to do burnt umber, and then I'm going to come back with another random brown and break up the monotony of one flat tone. And then I'm going to paint the rocks. Alright. So the eyes could be, we could do like a red iris, or whatever you call like the cornea part, like the round part. And a like, I don't know, like a tan, or what about yellow? A yellow dot in the middle of that? That'd look cool. Maybe a black pupil, or a yellow pupil on a black iris. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's so many options that we could be doing to make things look cool. Let's set this over here for a minute. Hit this with a plus 2 hot air gun and burning. That's still a little bit wet, but that's okay. It's dry enough for what we want to do here. Still using my cheapy brush. And though this was a cheapy brush, I really do, after years and years of using it and it's like falling apart and stuff, I love this brush. It is great for many tasks. Okay. We're going to hit that there. I'm going to lighten those rocks up a little bit. And we're just using a medium gray here. This one is called pewter. I use this quite a bit. Let's slide our cardboard up. Get our cheapy brush again. And let's wipe a lot of that off and just kind of hit some of the surface. We'll leave that in our brush. We'll get a lighter gray. This is a really light gray. We're going to wipe a lot of that off and then come back and just kind of hit some of the interesting spots and the high spots. Okay. Now let's figure out what we're going to do with these eyes. We're going to need some flock to break up the boredom of that base. I got some bright green flock I've been using that I really like. So I think the answer is to go red with a yellow dot. Kind of like those as red, but I'm committed to the yellow dot concept. All right, I'm getting a yellow here. This is called demonic yellow. And I'm going to get a fractional brush, which simply means that it's very tiny. It's smaller than a size 1. Okay. So there's just a couple things we could do to kind of help our cause, and one of them is to get some of this gold. I mean just a little bit of it, and kind of touch some of these high spots to break up where it's too orange on his shoulder pad and stuff. You know, on his chest guard. Maybe a little bit on his boots. Or it's just a little too gold. And then we got to do the red on his codpiece thing. His codpiece loincloth. His codpiece! Sir, it was everywhere. The whole piece. Yes, the whole piece. Okay. Something like that. So, though it looked a lot like a murloc initially, I feel like it looks much less like a murloc at this point. Let's take the back of this Masters of the Universe package here and some clear glue, if I can find it. Let's get a cheapy brush. Something we could throw away if we wanted to. I probably won't, but we could. Let's get work for our flock going. Just where you want to have a little bit of green on here. Doesn't have to be everywhere. Okay. And that bright green flock lives right here. Okay. All right. So here's our Hezrou demon. Your party wouldn't know what it was to look at it for sure. And here's the book art of it. Like I said, it stands about 8 foot tall. Ours might be a little taller. So 2 inches is 10 foot. Well, he's pretty close. Yeah, he's not standing up straight, but yeah. Okay, so he's probably 10 foot, not quite 8 foot. But anyways, so there we go. There's our Hezrou demon. Thanks for watching. I'm Doom. This is Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. I am so pleased that you guys watched me do this, because there's a lot of cool things to watch on the internet, and it blows my mind that people stop to watch me, because I really don't think of myself as, like, you know, you have to understand, I'm just like a dude in my basement. I'm not like, I don't have any production value. I don't have a budget for this. I just, get what I need to get at the store mostly, and use stuff that I've had for years. So it's, I don't have, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not fancy like everybody else. So I appreciate y'all watching. I really, really do. I'm going to clear coat this dude, take him upstairs, take some thumbnails, put him next to a mini so you can see what he looks like. Maybe I'll get a cleric out or something. That'd be cool. Fighting the outsider. I don't know. Whatever. Like, subscribe, share, notification bell, blah, blah, call to action. Please go to our website, check out our minis. They're amazing. You've heard me talking about them before. You'll hear me talking about them again. There will be a link in the description at some point. It might not be as soon as this uploads, but within a day there will be. And that'll take you to the website. Come to the Discord. Show me what you guys are building. I'd love to see it. And I'll see you next time after Demon, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, I forget. Is it the Distraken? No, Darrow. Okay, Darrows are just like crazy little gray dwarf people. That's too easy. We could just take a Dungeon Swag mini and paint one. If I have a Darrow one. If not, we'll make a Darrow. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.